Hey, what? All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I think we're live. Yeah, our TV wasn't working, so I forgot there's a delay.
It's so weird.
I've never been that confused in my life. I started talking and then looked at Kobe. Anyway, hey, I hope everyone's doing well. It's Thursday.
Everyone looks pumped, dude.
I know. The chat is popping off right now.
I mean, people are hyped. Aquatics hyped. Robert's looking for a new job with us. Things are looking good right now.
Aquatics looking for a new job with us?
No, Robert.
Robert.
Send that resume in.
We're always hiring. We're hiring a new guy in the video crew. We're always hiring. We're busy, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Good problem to have.
Taylor says, I can't believe Eli Tomac purposely lost. What? I mean, he purposely didn't try to win.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
He purposely kept it safe. I mean, he ain't going to push it to the edge.
Yeah, and a lot of people, even Tomac said in a post-race interview, he said, no, it's like I stalled the bike, I got back there, and at that point, I just said, you know what? On to Denver. I'm just going to keep this thing, keep it clean, and get through this main event.
The second time he stalled it, too.
So down. Yeah, so it was interesting. Someone said that in his hot lap right before the main event gate drop, he stalled the bike. Mm-hmm. But I still think Anderson made him do it.
Dude, what's Christian wearing a hoodie? The AC's finally working in here, dude.
I know. You guys don't even realize when the studio lights are on, it gets so hot in here, and the AC unit hasn't been working. And so when Christian and I get up sometimes, we have to peel ourselves off our chairs.
Dude,
but
I have to wear this hoodie, or people in my house try to steal it. The Rocky Mountain hoodie. It's nice.
The wifey wants it or something? Like she earned it for beating you in fantasy?
Yeah, she's doing that.
Well, I know a place that sells more.
I know. I need to hook it up with the new design here soon.
Oh, man. So what does Tomac need? Like a 14th or better? Or he has to get a 14th or better. Even if Anderson wins, he's still the champ, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we are headed into Denver. It was kind of funny.
Yeah,
What's up?
No, I was just going to say, he's wrapping the championship up. But, I mean, if you took Tomac out of the championship, the battle from second to...
Oh, it's close. We have some of those in the stats.
They're super close.
Marv is less than 10 points away from third place overall in the championship.
Crazy. I mean, yeah, between Barsha, Stewart, and Muscan is 9 points. I know.
What's Anderson up on Barsha right now? Not even that many. 23?
It's not that much,
no, that's
really.
Tight.
So from second to fifth or sixth, man, it's really close.
It's kind of interesting, though. Did you hear Anderson in an interview said, he's like laughing jokingly. He said, I think I did Tomac a favor because now he can win it in Denver.
Everybody knew it.
What a good guy.
Well, he is a good guy.
We need to get him to call in. I'm waiting on Tom to make that happen for us.
Dude, JG's trying to take your and Joe's job of tasting the dirt.
Oh. You don't want that job. Trust me. Like, I thought it was cool, but it's not like I'm not upset that I'm not tasting the dirt.
You wouldn't want to be doing
it
week after week. Could mess up the intestine.
How about that fine? We did you see the meme on the Discord? Oh, you guys got to check it out. We're not going to show it because it's got a guy's butt hanging out, but go to the Discord. The link's in the description of this. Someone posted a meme. It's some dudes on a golf course, and they look over, and their buddy's he's taking a dump in the sand.
Dude, speaking of going where you shouldn't go,
what?
Did you hear about Malcolm?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
pee.
dude.
He got the $1,000 fine for. Yeah. Where did he go pee?
I read off Swap Moto Live that he went between two of the tractors, like after the parade lap. In my mind, who's complaining about that?
Well, I could see it as if, like, one, if they were to accidentally catch you on live TV.
Yeah.
Two, if a fan can see you relieving yourself on the track, that's not a good look.
If there's someone taking a leak on turn 3, I got a problem, dude. I mean, he's clearly trying to get out of the way.
Maybe they just need to do NASCAR does and just wear a poop bag and just be able to go to the bathroom while you're in the middle of a race.
Nature calls, man. I mean, I know how I got sympathy for that, man. You go do the parade lap, you're hyped up. It's sometimes, even if you just went, you got to go again.
I was racing my dirt bike this last weekend, and every time I'd get to I would pee 5 minutes before I had to go to the line. Mm-hmm. I'd get to the line, nerves start kicking in, and I'd be like, dude, I have to pee again. But there's no... There, you couldn't do it, so you just hold it.
I couldn't go 5 minutes in a Hollywood video or Blockbuster without having to go for some reason. Well, look, I got sympathy for that man.
Okay. Kenny's in some trouble. All right. We got Justin Starling calling in here in a little bit, too. So he's been crushing it as a privateer.
Yeah, dude,
he's made all but, I think, 3 or 4 mains.
I mean, he's gone from LCQs the first, 6 out of 7 rounds to just making it straight out of the heat since.
Oh, I know. He's crushing it.
Doing great.
Hey, yeah, so we would love to hear if you guys have questions for Justin Starling. Leave those in the live chat as we're talking to Justin. We would love to hear some of your questions for hymns.
Dude, these comments, bro. Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
They're good.
Well, that being said, so yes, we are headed into, Kenneth, that's a long comment. It's going to be hard for me to read that whole thing. Okay, headed into Denver. So just as a quick recap, results from last week, Anderson, Sexton, Muscan, Stewart, Barsha, Brees took the wild card.
Clayson.
Oh, sorry, Clayson. That's right. I had Starling last week. He crushed my dreams. All right, well, let's see here. Injuries. So same guys still out. Nothing new to report, but Ferrandis, AC, Savachi, Josh Hill, Max Anstey. I heard Max Anstey might, good for him. I'm hearing rumors that he'll get a ride on a factory team for outdoors.
Yeah. I just want to see them all back. I mean, all right. I don't know what's going on with that.
Ken Roxon, I hear. Everyone says that he's coming back for outdoors, which is cool. Shout out Dean Wilson, still recovering from his laceration. AP's back on the bike, so... yeah, it should be good, man. I'm getting pumped up to see these guys back on the track. Yeah. So you looked at the track, Christian. Any thoughts on it?
I like it.
Seems pretty basic.
A lot of triples, it looks like. Like small whoops.
Like Supercross triples?
Yeah, just like I bet you it's going to be really jumpy.
Yeah, you got the one long rhythm lane.
You got one here. You got probably another one coming out of that second turn.
It is interesting, though, like your typical Supercross triple. Mm-hmm. There isn't one of those on here. They just had that one double after the sand, but there's no actual Supercross triple.
No, I'm sure they'll be tripling the other stuff.
I think it'll race good. This track, I watched the last Denver race we had back in 2019. Got extremely hard pack and slick, which is where Anderson and Tomac are known to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like the sand, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it plays a factor in it. All right, so that being said, there's only 3 180 turns on it, shorter whoop section. So watch qualifying, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, that turn after the finish line into the hole shot line there, that's kind of crazy.
That's true. Look, Derek M brought up a good point. He said they're going to lap, not up to 4th, I don't think, but if it is, every time we've seen those tracks get in those low, mid 40-second lap times, they get into lappers less than halfway in.
What I do know we'll see and hear is them talking about the bikes not having as much power in the elevation. Just
they're
over
450s, bro. I think they'll be okay. Oh, man. All right. That being said, let's show some of the stats here before we get Justin Starling on the phone. So let's see. Best starters in the game. We got got that graphic up there. Let's show them what we got here.
Dude, what's crazy is the top 7. Look how close still. And you know what? They're actually like getting closer.
Yeah, they are.
Because Tomac's kind of starting to lay off.
Well, he's still ripping good starts. Like last week, he started ahead of Anderson.
Yeah, I don't think anybody changed more than like a half a position.
No,
but they're really coming together.
Barsha's starts have gotten better and better, later in the season. So because his average start was probably around 10 or 11 for about half the season. So it's good, though. These guys are all ripping off good starts.
I mean, just Anderson and Sexton and Tomac, dude. That's so close. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But even when you look at the best finishers.
We'd have to go back and look to see when Tomac was 3rd in average start for an entire season or in the top 3.
Never happened, honestly.
Oh, I guarantee you it hasn't. All right, so let's see. How about best finishers? Tomac's still holding that one down, even with the 7th place. So he's at 2.6. Anderson's at 4.7. What's crazy though is Barsha moving into 3rd place.
Yep. He's been doing solid all year. I mean, you take Tomac out, like we said before, from 2nd to 7th, they're so close, man.
I was looking at his finishes this year, and it's like you wouldn't think it, but he has been consistent.
Barsha?
Like 6th place or better. Been very solid.
That's all it takes.
What's kind of surprising about this, though, is Marv. Back there at 6.3.
I mean, he started rough.
Yeah, he's had some of those
DNFs.
Atlanta was rough for him. And Webb.
But you can really see like the tiers of riders here.
Yeah. Well, what's kind of crazy, we're talking about the wild card because it's 7th place this week. It's going to be a tough one because there's, if you look at this list, once you get to Muscan, maybe Brayton, the next group of guys
they're a little far back.
You're going to have a big gap from the first 7 to those other guys. So you're either going to have somebody have their best ride of the year, or you're going to have one of the top riders have a bad ride.
So, I agree.
Interesting. Webb for the wild card.
It's not that far off.
Oh, yeah. Brody Richards said we'll ask Justin about his nerves on the gate.
If he's
we'll just ask him about the whole Malcolm Stewart.
Dude, for $1,000 though,
the P gate.
I'm just letting it go on the bike. I'm just going full Dumb and Dumber. Just
what
letting
if
it
he's wearing
go.
white pants, bro?
Just let it go.
Yeah, that'd be great for live TV.
$1,000, dude.
Malcolm Stewart looks like he relieved himself on the bike.
I wouldn't even care.
Malcolm, why'd you do that? Well, I don't want $1,000 fine.
On the podium, it's $1,000 for me to get off this bike and go over there and handle it.
Yeah. Okay, good
just
point.
let it go. Well, we're on our way to Aspen anyways. Let it go.
All right. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's get into it. We'll do Tomac first, and then we'll get Starling on the phone here. He's going to be joining us very shortly. Kobe, are we good on Starling?
We're good.
Okay, perfect. All right, Eli Tomac. The question is, and we're going to ask Justin about this, and you guys comment, maybe Kobe, let's do a poll. Is Tomac going to push to win in Denver, his home state, and wrap up the title all on the same night? Christian, what are your initial thoughts?
That's the goal. I mean, I think he's going to do it. Sorry, I was reading the chat when you were saying. What were you saying? Dude, the wheels are falling off.
Just no idea what I just
kind of play it off.
You sound like my wife when she asks me a question. She gets mad at me because I just didn't listen.
Well, my wife complains that I don't listen to her enough, but I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
All right. Well, look.
Does he go for the win? Is that what you asked?
Yeah. Does he go for the win?
I click no.
You click no? Okay. Tell me why.
Because I think
I'm not disagreeing. I just want to hear your thoughts.
I just think Anderson, Sexton, Muscan, all those guys are really, really close in points. They want to make sure they get as high up as they can.
I agree.
And they're going to push. Like, if Tomac gets near any of them, I don't think they're just going to let him by. They're going to push and try to even pass other riders, too.
I agree. But here's what I do like, though. Here's why I feel like, not that Tomac will, but I feel like, okay.
That he wants to win there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the paycheck as much as he wants the win, right? Or vice versa. But he wins in front of his home crowd. In 2019, when he won there, he said it was the loudest stadium he's ever been in.
Yeah.
And he wins the title. But what is nice, though, is that Anderson and those guys know that they don't, like Anderson, he rides aggressive, but he's not dirty.
No.
He's not going to push Tomac off the track or try and knock Tomac down.
Nobody's going to jeopardize his
what I feel like, though, is that Tomac can push for the win without fear that Jason Anderson is going to try and clean him out if he tries to pass him. You know what I mean? Like, if Anderson's out front and Tomac's in second, I feel like Tomac thinks, I can try and make a pass on Anderson. I don't have to worry about him being super aggressive and trying to pass me back and take me out because Anderson respects it. And yeah, so I just feel like he'll be able to push, go for the win, and not have to worry about other riders trying to ruin the night for him. That's all I'm saying.
As long as he doesn't get behind Barsha. That would be a scary pass to make, dude, at this point in the season.
Aquatic says he doesn't want to battle Marv for first.
He might not, dude. Marv was jumping around like a gazelle last round.
JP says never trust Bam Bam. That is true.
That's what I'm saying. If he's behind Bam Bam, he might just like let that thing coast.
Heck, you know what? I'll take a third.
I would.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's worth that. Anyone else is not going to race him as tough as Barsha would, I feel like.
Yeah. But, dude, I mean, just think about if you're Eli Tomac, you're like, what a Cinderella way to win your second title is.
I mean, it's huge.
Win in Denver and wrap up the title.
Nobody even be mad about it, but, man, you don't want to go into Salt Lake either and have some weird situation happen. So
yeah. I don't know. But
what else we got on
Tomac's home is closer to Salt Lake City than it is Denver. That's true, but it's not the same state. So, anyway, all right. He has a 43-point lead, which means, correct me if I'm wrong, 14th or better wraps up the title for him. Even if Anderson wins, that's all he needs. Mm-hmm. He hasn't finished more than 2 spots away from where he's qualified in the last 5 rounds.
Even when he qualified 5th last week, people didn't think it mattered. Then he finished 7th. I mean, he stays 1 to 2 spots away.
Okay. His average finish in heats is 2.17, so he's always getting good gate picks. Mm-hmm. He hasn't started outside the top 5 in a standard round since round 10 in Detroit. So his starts are just consistent.
Always there in the top 5.
He won Denver in 2019. Last week was the first time this year he finished behind where he started after lap 1.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking impressive.
And it shows, that he's laying off right now.
Yeah. He's got the most laps led, 114 to Anderson's 104. What's crazy is Chase Sexton. We'll get to him, but he's got 76 laps led and only one victory.
And it's like 5 rounds he's led laps in, I think. 5 or 6.
And the thing is, Tomac went 7 straight rounds on the box. So even if he's not winning, you still probably got to put the guy on the box.
Tomac?
Yeah. You remember the stat? I don't think it's been...
I think that was when he's worse than 10th. He comes back and wins.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, he's racked up, 11 podiums this year, something like that. It's like, even if he's not, you don't think he's going to try and go for the win, still probably put the guy on your podium.
Yeah.
There's just so many guys out, too.
Man, I don't know. I'm probably going to wait for qualifying, honestly. And if he's in the 4th, 5th range, I'm not going to put him higher than 3rd.
Okay.
Let's see what Justin thinks, guys. We got him loaded up.
All right, speaking of that, yes, we've got the man who is crushing it this year. His name is Justin Starling. He has been making it straight into the main events. Mm-hmm. Don't need no LCQs for this man. Justin Starling, how we doing, guy?
We're living a dream. We're in my favorite city right now in Denver. So, yeah, I'm stoked to get this going this weekend and try to finish the season off strong.
I saw your tweet. You said that Denver just makes you happier. Are you going to move there?
Yeah. No, I've spent some time here in the past, like in the summers, doing some training with Tom Danielson. And I've made a lot of good friends here. I just genuinely like the city a lot. It's really fun and cool place to be in. There's a lot of cool private tracks and stuff around, but it's really just the people I've been around and all that. So, yeah, I just love being here. Like last time we were here in 2019, I loved it. And, I'm stoked to be back.
Okay.
So where are you from and where did you grow up then?
Florida. So literally I live, I'd say about 15 minutes from Daytona Speedway. So that's my home race. So it's a pretty far gap from any other races. But just like I said, I just came out here for just some training and just I fell in love with it.
Nice. Hey, so we've been doing some bench racing about Tomac this weekend. So he's got a 43-point lead. I think he needs 14th or better. He doesn't have to. Jason can win, and Tomac just has to get 14th or better. He wraps up the title. So the real question, though, is for people that are watching and playing fantasy, and we want to get your advice on this, is do you think Tomac is going to push for the win? Do you think the appeal of winning in Denver and wrapping up the title on the same night is, or do you think he plays it safe like he did last week? What do you think he's going to do?
Well, I would love to know exactly what goes through his mind. I've never been in that boat, before, but, I think if it's me, I go big picture championship. That's the big thing. But I think if he's in a position to win, he knows the altitude and it's always been good for him and he knows his dirt. He knows it all. And then the atmosphere of the whole place is obviously going to be pretty wild for him.
Yeah.
So I think he does go for it if he's in a position to go for it. And then obviously altitude in the past has been a struggle for Jason. So he's been back in New Mexico training in the altitude, but he's done that before. So it all just kind of depends on how we see it here. But if I'm a betting person, I'm going to say he's probably going to go for a win. If he starts up front and it, aligns himself to do that. But I think if he's fourth or fifth and it's a little difficult, I don't think you'll see him push it.
Okay. So I'm kind of with you. I feel like let's replay last week where he's in second, Anderson gets around him, and then from there, Tomac just backed it down because he had to beat Anderson. But with this week, here's what I was telling Christian earlier. With the 43-point gap, let's say that all happens all over again. Anderson's an aggressive rider, but he's not dirty. So I feel like Tomac can still make that push to try and pass Anderson this weekend if it's for the win, and doesn't feel like Anderson's going to retaliate or do something stupid that's going to try and take Tomac out of the race. Anderson realizes it's like, I'm out of this title fight at this point. So would you agree with that Tomac doesn't have to be so stressed about that part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he thinks about that, but you also, when you're in the race mode, anything can happen, and your brain will sometimes think of things that you don't ever think it would think of when you're in that position. And
True.
I don't think Anderson's just going to let him go by, in my opinion. I know if I was in that boat, even though the gap is really big, I still wouldn't just let someone go by.
Yeah, right.
So, especially if you're the one you're in the title hunt for. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I think Anderson pretty much knows it's well over,
Sure.
and he really just has to finish these extra races to get the championship. But it's dirt bike racing. Anything can happen. I mean, it's I wouldn't be completely floored if something crazy happened, but I still think Tomac is going to think big picture, and I think that's championship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a question. I mean, you've been around racing pro for a long time. Last year, you only had 27 points in the championship. This year, up to this point, you're up to 80 points already, sitting, 19th overall? I mean, what's the reason for the big jump this season? Something click, or did you get some new pieces to the team, or what happened?
I think last year was just a little bit – it was my first full year in the 450, and my program was a lot smaller than it is now. And I think I maybe came in a little too prepared, and then it didn't go very well the first round. And I think mentally I just kind of let it drain me for a while. I don't think I made a main until like round 6, and that was terrible. That's something I've never missed that many mains in a row in my career, so that was pretty draining. But I think just my program was really small. I didn't really have all the pieces of the puzzle together at that point. And it was my first year on a 450, so I didn't really know what to expect either. And I had done 450 races in the past and made every main I've tried on the 450. And so I just thought it was going to be easy, and it wasn't. It was complete opposite. So then I knew going into this year what it would take. And I mean, it's been good. I missed 3 mains, and those 3 mains still haunt me because one of them was just a lot of crashing, and then the other 2, I shouldn't have even been there. Is the way I rode the bike. But I've been able to turn it around and ride well, and I came in prepared. I think that was the big thing is I knew to not overdo it. Came in prepared. The bike was really good. I haven't changed the bike at all this season. Besides maybe just a couple of clicks on the suspension. Like, I've been pretty standard with it. And and then obviously you can't, I'm a pretty realistic person, and the field's pretty depleted right now. It's there's not everyone's there. So when you look at it in that aspect, that helps. Of course, I went from being, an 18th to 16th area place guy to I went 12, 11, 12, so but at the end of the day, you got to line up every weekend. So I've been able to do that, and I've been taking advantage of it. But I think it's really just, the program's great. The people around me are great. And I'm just prepared. I mean, you'd be kind of surprised that my practice bike has 4 hours on it since January 1st. Like, jeez. I have been practicing. I've rode a couple of press days, which I've been pretty thankful for. But it's just been a weekend thing, and I was able to do my work before the season, and it's showing.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, 12, 11, 12 is huge. Then 13th.
Yeah, you were a wild card spot crusher last week. I had you pick for my wild card, and you finished just outside of it. So you're gonna have to get some redemption here with that.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I made a lot of mistakes last week, and I even stalled my motorcycle and bent my brain, and that's just things I've never really done. I don't remember the last time I stalled my bike, and it's just a lot of dumb moves on my part. I started like 11, so I was like, oh, it should be a good night, and just made mistake after mistake, and to see the lap sheet, just my name being dropped, I was pretty embarrassed. But it's all good. We have 2 more to go, and we'll regroup this weekend.
That trap looked rough.
It is pretty crazy though. So when you make, so I was at a local race series just this last weekend, and I was racing, and it's pretty. So I had one moto where I made a couple mistakes. It's incredible how hard it is to regain your focus, even when you're just making small mistakes. Like when you're making those, like you start to focus on that. It's so much harder to just get back in a flow when just crappy things like that happen. I don't know. That was my experience.
Yeah, I actually came off the track probably the most pissed I've been all year, and my mechanic, I like had him sit down and talk with me, because I was just like, I don't know what happened just now, and I don't know why anything of that just happened, and I don't know why, because my heat race was probably my best heat race. I was just talking to Brees about it like 20 minutes ago about how good my heat race was, and I'm going into the main event thinking I'm going to top 10 this thing, no problem. And then I get my worst finish in like 9 races.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty defeating, but I had a long drive out here, and I know kind of what happened in my mind. And I think I just put too much pressure on myself to do well. And that's not going to happen this week, and I'll be fine. Everything will be good. I'm in Denver, and it's a good place for me. And, but yeah, the big thing is if I make a mistake, I got to make sure I regroup within, half a lap, because otherwise those guys are going to get away from me. And that's what happened last week. They just got away.
Right on. Well, hey, we had a couple questions come in live while you're talking. One person wanted to know what your thoughts been on the track so far this year. We have had a lot of riders crash. Do you think the track design or layout or the whoops have anything to do with that? Or you think this is kind of business as usual and riders get hurt, just kind of part of the sport?
Yeah, I think the tracks have been okay. Some have been a little strange, but I don't know if that's maybe the dirt or something like at this time of year. I don't know. But I think the tracks have been fine. The whoops have been definitely bigger than we've ever had in years past, in my opinion. Like last week's, the whoops were pretty big in the first free practice, and like skimming them, I was like, man, these are going to get pretty bad here in a little bit. And then when I went down for the first time practice, I was like, I'm just going to jump these things. And I was able to jump 3 times through them and qualified 9th. And I was like, okay, like that should be good. And then the next practice, the whoops are a quarter of the size. So yeah, I don't know. I would say if anything, the whoops have been tough on the tracks. But I think the track wise, like the jumps and the rhythm that they've had and everything, I think has been totally fine. I just think the dirt's been the biggest factor of everything. The dirt's been deteriorating a lot. But I don't know why that's different this year compared to last year or years past. I don't know that stuff. So, but yeah, I think the track's been okay. Whoops have been big. But yeah, there's been a lot of injuries, but I also think it's just because this level that we're going through is so high right now that everyone's pushing the limits. And I think if anything, it's probably more like not up with the rider and that causes a crash. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I know my limits, and I don't push further than those because I got to make it to every race. So, but yeah, I found anything. I would say the tracks have been okay. Just maybe the riders maybe need to change their bikes to their riding a little bit more.
So what do you think? So when you say you know your limits, and like, so every rider has their limit, right? And they'll talk about like, I was at my limit. What sort of mistakes start to come when you try and go just past that? Like from us watching you, like what does that lead to? Do you start to just miss time rhythms because you're trying harder? Like what is it that causes that?
Yeah, for me, I think it's mistiming rhythms and, maybe knife in the front coming into a corner because you're pushing that a little bit more. Honestly, in my opinion, it's everything I did last weekend. I think I tried to push past my limits, and I was over jumping and casing things way more because I was just trying to push that much harder. And yeah, you start knifing coming into corners, or you go through the whoops and you start missing because you're trying to go that much faster than normal or something. So I always know that little limit between 90 and 100 to keep it safe, but also be fast,
right.
there's been times this year where I've definitely pushed my limits, more than I should. But yeah, at the same time, I'm a little different than a lot of riders. I have to race to make my money, and that's my full income is dirt bikes. So I got to be at every race. I got to drive to every race. I got to work on the bike between every week and get it ready for each race. And, if I'm hurt, I can't do that. So if I have to drop, 2 spots to make sure I'm at the next weekend, to me, that's a little bit more important than, pushing and crashing and possibly missing X amount of races.
Right. And I don't think you gave yourself an easy track last week to not ride at your best, because
that track was rough.
Well, even the top guys, I've never seen so many guys just casing that. There was that one rhythm section where I swear it was just everybody was just struggling at points to get through it, just casing it. So what was that track like? I mean, was it looked like to me the rhythm sections, the jumps were peakier. They're throwing guys up higher. But you obviously on TV, we can't see what's like between the transitions. We never see the ruts.
Yeah.
So it just looked like a sketchy track.
Yeah, the rhythm before the whoops was really tall. We were going like roll, double, triple. And the first triple, it was going off of like a 2-footer up to like a 5-footer. So when you're looking at it from side, it doesn't look that bad. But when you sit there and look at it straight on, it's like, man, I don't even know how you're going to seat bounce over the top of that one.
Okay.
But then you were into ruts and going off another 5 and going back down to a 3. So that one was really tough to time. And then for a little bit before that, we were doing a quad into the corner, which that one was easy, but there's just so many ruts. The ruts were the hard part because you just didn't really know if that rut you're in was a spongy rut or if it was harder pack. But so after the finish line, you went left and it was like a 3 on off quad double, ruts everywhere. Turn right, double, and then it was like a little triple and then another triple. That one, that's that third or second triple in that rhythm was literally my downfall of the entire day. I could not figure out how to time it. I kept over jumping it or casing it because I was trying to move around ruts a little bit because they were getting so deep, and you just didn't know if the rut you're in was going to shoot you up or shoot you forward. And the landing of that thing was really steep, and then the next one was to jump off of was really steep. So you had to time it right. And there was 2 times I full on Chase Sexton bashed my face off the bars because I couldn't time it. I just kept landing too long. And then there was times where I cased it and then had to double, and it was weird. It felt like there was like sand underneath the dirt and it was making it just super spongy. So you had to I stiffened my bike up a lot to try to keep it to hold up and that stuff. So when the whoops got smaller, it almost made my bike feel really twitchy in them. So it was a tough track to try to adapt to. The ruts just were super strange. And then on top of the ruts, when it was on a hard pack section, it was like dust and you just couldn't get traction. So you were just struggling. So yeah, it was a strange track. I don't know how, I guess the one thing I've heard the most is like moon dust. I would say moon dust is the best way to describe it. Yeah. That's how it felt.
Okay.
It had enough rocks to be moon dust.
Oh my gosh. Why can't I?
That was a lot of rocks.
Can we do something about that?
It's a lot of big
rocks.
What's
crazy though is when we were out there, it didn't feel that rocky.
Really?
Compared to other tracks, feel that bad. But there was a time where Hardy Munoz went into the net, so we had a break between our practice to fix the net, and we were all walking the whoops, and I was pulling out rocks and all these weird pieces of rubber from the whoops, and I'm like, dude, when we're riding, I don't feel this, but I see it all right now. And there's a photo of Anderson coming up on Tomac when he made that pass in the main, and it looks like Anderson's just sliding across rocks.
Yeah.
But when you're out there, I'm like, I didn't even know there was rocks in that corner. It was just super weird. There was more races this year that had rockier tracks and you felt them compared to this one. It was strange.
Interesting. Hey, I got one more question for you. And I just started thinking about this. So it's kind of on the topic of Anderson. So Malcolm's been really good this year, but I think no doubt Tomac and Anderson are obviously the 2 biggest surprises. Webb could be a solid 3rd for that just because of, he hasn't done as well as everyone assumed he would do. If you were Adam Cianciarulla right now, I'm pretty sure this is a contract year for him. From what I understand, he's not riding outdoors. If Anderson's crushing it, which I don't think Kawasaki had any idea what they were going to get with Jason. I think they just needed a second guy, and they had this he had this stereotype about him, but then he shows up and they're like, oh, this guy is a hard worker. And then he comes out, he's won 5 races this year. Do you think Adam looks at that and says, this is not good for me. Like, I'm supposed to be the number one guy, kind of the golden boy of Kawasaki. And now Jason, who's 30, comes in. He's winning all these races while I'm hurt. Do you think that takes away a big bargaining chip for Adam when it comes time to re-sign with Cowie? Do you think Cowie's looking at him thinking, hey, dude, like, now Jason's our number one guy, so this is what you're going to get. Do you think that's something that's weighing on his mind right now?
I mean, how could it not, right? I mean, I would think the same thing, even if it was my own program. I would be like, well, I'm not number one guy. You know, like, it's just stuff that goes through your mind. So, yeah, I mean, it has to. And especially he's going to take off this much more time now, and that's not good for him. You know, I mean, it could be good for him if he gets healthy 100%. Maybe that's what he needed this whole time. I mean, I've heard things of where he's not at Cowie next year. I've heard things of where he has re-signed with Cowie. I have no idea what he's doing. I would love to know because I like that stuff. I'm a big bench racer with that. So, but yeah, ultimately, I don't know. I could see him staying, you know, and them giving him another chance, but I think it's going to be pretty clear that his paycheck's going to be cut, and it's basically going to be like, look, we're going to give you a chance or you're going to have nothing type of thing. And I think he's going to be in that boat where he's going to have to take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know where he's at right now. I don't know if he's re-signed or if it's in talks or what. And if he doesn't sign there, I don't know where he could go, you know, I have no idea. So, yeah, I mean, for sure that's weighing on his mind. That has to be. I mean, it would be weighing on mine for sure if I was missing races.
Yeah, and with Kenny, he's coming back for outdoors. I haven't heard anything about – I've heard the rumor mill that he's Supercross only deal for 2023. But if that weren't to happen, what does Honda do? Move Hunter up for 23 so Jet can stay down, defend his title with Chance Hymas being the second rider, and then Jet takes Hunter's spot? I don't know. There's going to be some interesting moves. I just feel like AC is kind of in a tough spot right now.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff going on this year. I mean, I've heard things of where Jet's going up, and I'm just like, why? Like, you're a kid, defend your championship, and then come up, you know, or so on and so forth. I mean, I've heard things of Kenny trying to go to KTM. I don't know. There's been so many rumors every weekend. Like, it's funny, like Fridays at the races, they're just like the funniest things that you hear, you know, and it's like, wow, I never would have thought of that, you know, or so on. So, yeah, I mean, it can be interesting, you know, and so, I mean, who knows? It's been a very weird year. That's the best way to put it, just in general, with some teams and other riders, you know, that could possibly with Jason for outdoors. Like, there's just a lot of stuff going on. Nobody really knows what's going on. But it could be a very, very, very eventful offseason. And
there's a group of 250 guys that want 450 rides bad, too. That's another thing. Yeah. Justin Cooper's talked about it. Colt Nichols, Jeremy Martin, Faulkner. I mean, I think a lot of these guys are going to change their tune when a 250 team flashes a paycheck at them and says, hey, just stay down here. Like, okay, you know, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't see Jeremy moving up. I see him staying one more year. I same with Faulkner. I think he needs to stay one more. And then, I mean, yeah, you got Craig. Craig's deal's done, and that's. I mean, I know that one for sure. I think everyone else does too. But
yeah, is it Husky? Is that official? Unofficially official?
That's all I've heard. I'm
okay.
not going to sit there and say yes for sure, but that's what I've heard. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, so then you got other guys where Nichols needs a ride. Cooper does need – those guys need rides. Like, they have no choice. So, I think those guys will get something before Jeremy and those guys will, because they just want to go where the others have to go. So, you know, we'll see. You know, like I could see Jeremy and those guys getting a higher paycheck to stay 250 and a lower paycheck to go 450 because they can get Cooper and those guys for lower because they don't have a choice. They have to take it.
That's true.
So that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of moving around, a lot.
Okay, well, you heard it from one of our fellow bench racers here that likes to get into the know-how just like we do.
He knows a lot more than we do about it.
Well, so Justin, before we let you go, because we know you're a busy guy, and again, we are very appreciative for you taking the time to do this. We do this; it's kind of a tradition. Any rider that calls in, unless of course they're like, one of those top 5 guys, give us your podium for this weekend's race. If you were playing fantasy and you had to pick, what would you do?
In 450, man, it's a toss-up between Anderson and Tomac. I don't know which one I'd go with, but I'll just throw it out there. I'll say Tomac. Then after Tomac, I'd say it's probably going to be Anderson. And then, man, that third one could be tough. I'll say Malcolm. I'll go with Malcolm. I think Malcolm can do it. I don't know how his knee's feeling, but he was a fourth last weekend, so I think he'll be okay, and he's in good shape right now. So I'll say Malcolm, and this could be a good weekend also where Malcolm could get a win. So I don't know, but that would be my three as I'd go off of Tomac, Anderson, Malcolm.
Okay. Like what's interesting is Malcolm has 11 top fives this year. He has not finished third place yet, so that would be a season first for Malcolm.
Yeah, he's gotten second a couple times, right?
Yeah, he's had a couple seconds and a load of fourth and fifth. What's crazy, too,
what's the wild card this weekend?
It's seventh. It's tough because it's like...
Yeah, don't wild card me. That's a little high for me, or a little low.
Well, seventh is tough because Brayton looks good for seventh, but it's either going to be a top guy that has a bad race, or it's going to be somebody like Brayton or another rider like maybe an Amart or a Hartraft that has like a season's best. So you could put Bogle in that argument as well. He's been so up and down though. I don't know what to do with that guy.
Could finish
That's
anywhere.
what I'm saying. Like you could put him in there. You just don't really know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what did Tomac just finish seventh, right?
Yep.
So that is another thing where it throws curveballs in. You're like, well, he's got seventh, and that's the wild card now, and that's the dude that's gonna win the championship. So, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to think about.
Sorry, I know I said we were going to let you go, but I do have another question if you got time. If you got to go.
I got plenty of time. I haven't even parked yet, so I'm just sitting here waiting for them to tell me where I'm parking.
Someone asked if you were laying down. They were like, is he laying down on the floor? I was like, kind of doesn't look like it.
I'm in my van on the bench. This is my wall. It's,
okay.
But I'm just in my van.
What was up with Webb last week? No one's really talking about it, but it doesn't look good when Marv's beating him every week.
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched the race, so I have no idea what place he finished.
Whole shot to seventh,
sixth,
and then passed Tomac for sixth.
Yeah.
But didn't crash. Nothing happened. He just dropped.
Yeah, that's unlike him, for sure. Yeah, that's the first I heard of that. I didn't know what place he got. I just knew of like Tomac because they were talking about it. But
yeah.
What place did Marvin get?
He got third. He got another podium.
Yeah. So that's not good for Coop, right?
He's another one of those guys like AC where it's like, dude, like this is not supposed to be happening. Like Marv is not supposed to be beating you.
Webb has an injury
in points, and he's got to win. Coop hasn't even really, if you think about it, he got a second at Daytona, but aside from that, he hasn't really come close.
He's had some hard crashes.
What's strange is, it's definitely not normal for him. I mean, if you want to look back in Seattle, he had that crash, but I out-qualified him. Like that's not normal.
Yeah.
I'm usually not even on par with him, and he put in laps after that and still couldn't get to my time. So you got to look at it like that. Like that to me was like a big, like, what's wrong thing. And I like Cooper a lot, he's like one of the best dudes I've ever met. So I hate to see it out of him, but I don't know. I mean, I'll just say it 'cause it doesn't really matter to me, but like, I know he's been struggling with the bike a little bit, from what I've heard, and maybe that's gotten into his mental side a little bit, but then you come see his video he just posted on his Instagram of him just slaying whoops.
I saw that.
Right, super good. So then you're like, well, okay, well, maybe not, like it's strange, right? Like we're all kind of wondering, because I picked him to win the championship coming in because I got to ride with him for one day before the season, and I was like, yeah, this guy's going to dominate the championship.
Oh, I had him picked.
And like his whoop speed was unreal. He was on the new bike. I was like, yeah, he's winning. Like there's no other way to do this other than he's going to win, and he's done the complete opposite. So I don't know. That's unlike him. My only thought is, like you're saying, he could be injured. That would be my only thought.
I don't want to say anything bad other than I think he's really got some injury that's hindering him.
I just think we're past the bike. I feel like there's something else.
Yeah.
I know I've spoken to someone about the bike, and they are struggling with the bike. I'm not riding that bike next year because I know that this chassis works really well, and the new gas gas is the same motorcycle.
Yeah.
So I know that they are struggling with that bike, but you'd think by round 15 they probably have a good idea of what to do.
Yeah, but are they struggling from a whole shot to 7th when Marv is? That's the real question. Is like how
you definitely can't argue it when your teammate is on the same motorcycle and he has now gotten to 3rd and he's gotten a win this year. So
yeah,
you can't argue too much, but it could be against him in his mental side, and it's weird because he's like one of the strongest mental guys in the world that I've ever seen in my life. But maybe this bike is taking a toll on him. Maybe I don't know. I can't answer. I'm not in his head. I don't know how he works. I don't ask him questions about that because it's not my place, but that would just be maybe my thought, but yeah, I mean, I think this weekend will be either a complete turnaround or the same thing.
Interesting. Yeah, it's been a rough year. I mean, he left Alden. He was with Burner. Then he leaves Burner. Nobody knows what's really going on. He's got the bike struggles. Then he goes back to Alden's and then has this really weird ride. So it's just been a rough year for the guy. But yeah, I think they'll turn it around. I don't know if he's re-signed yet with Red Bull for next year, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy year, but you're crushing it. So congratulations on making all these main events straight out of the heats.
Dude, he's saying don't pick him for the wild card. Scooty Puff called you in round 12, getting the wild card, and that sounded crazy at the time.
Yeah,
so if he says to pick you for the wild card, I might do it.
I heard you.
Oh yeah,
I heard you know Scooty Puff.
I love that guy. I'm one of his Patreons for his thing. I love him. He's a great guy.
He is.
I was at Phoenix Supercross.
Fantasy dude.
I was at Phoenix Supercross, and I'm sitting there, and somebody is vaping. Somebody like snuck their vape inside the stadium. So I'm just getting these clouds of vape smoke in my face, and I'm just, who the hell is vaping me out right now? I look over, it's Scooty Puff, dude. Sweatpants. He's got his freaking Pit Vipers on. Yeah. Legend.
The mullet and everything.
Oh yeah.
Scooty is one of the most genuine guys I've met in a long time. And it was kind of just like random that we met too. I just found his stream one day and was just like into it, because he was just so like happy and funny. And then I was able to meet him and show him around the semi at, I think it was 2019 Seattle.
Yeah.
And it was when I was on AJE and like we became buds. And then we hung out in Salt Lake last year after the race. We got some drinks together and, man, he's just a genuinely good guy. Like whenever I see him streaming, like I'm not on my phone too much right now, but like whenever I see him streaming, I'll pop in there and donate him a little bit of money, because I love what he's doing. He's just trying, and his streams are really amusing to watch, and people that are in his Discord too are really funny. So yeah, I'm a big fan of him. I like him a lot. So.
He's serious into fantasy too.
Oh, I know.
We did a post on that week when you were on the wild card watch, and he commented, after Starling gets us this wild card, I'll text him thank you for everybody. And then boom, there you were, dude. So
yeah, no, he's a good dude. That's a guy that I'll always have his back. And it's actually funny. I remember, like, I know his stream, it talks about you guys. He talks about you guys a lot. So that was kind of dumb for me to ask if you guys knew about him. But yeah, no, he's a good dude. He's a really, really, really good guy. I like him a lot.
Right on. Well, hey, Justin, before we let you get back to your day here, last thing, give a shout out to your sponsors that help you go racing. If you have any merch, anything like that, I know a lot of riders do training schools. We want to give you a chance to let the people know what you've got going on. So now is your time.
Yeah, just FXR, SKDA. Those are my two big sponsors for the year. And without those guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. And then I got a new one, Adams Polish, a detail company out of Denver. Yeah, they just stepped in. So big thanks to those guys, and 60 Garnet, FMF Goggles, John Kuzo over there, and Mobius, FCP. Man, there's so many that are all on my bike that I could go read off my roof fender. But yeah, man, just thanks to everyone that's keeping this going. And Moto Whips, JC Spikes and Boards. He's actually flying out today to help mechanic me this weekend. But yeah, man, it's been a great year. I've had a lot of fun. This is definitely, like, I've been craving coming to the races because of my program and everything working so well. And I wouldn't be able to do it without every sponsor that's been there for me this year. And the nice thing is a lot of them are multi-year deals. So we'll have them all back for next year. And I'm excited. It's all really cool. I'm having a blast, and so far so good. And actually, I think I'm about to get parked right now, so I'm pretty excited about it.
All right, man. Well, hey, can't wait to see you in another kit with those blue Garnets, dude. I'm just saying, rock the blues.
I will have on this weekend. I have a good Broncos.
Yes, I like it. All right, man. Well, hey, you go get parked. Have fun this weekend. We wish you the best of luck, brother.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see ya.
See, it's a good dude.
Such a good guy. I love that guy.
They're all good dudes.
All right, well, look. That call went longer, and I loved it, though. He was into it.
A very interesting guy.
He has some good insight, too. I like that.
Like
Starling. You could tell he just liked a bench race.
I'm always cheering for that guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to have to turn this up to 100 here so we can get through some of these stats. Jason Anderson. That's right, Greg. We do love that guy. They're on to us.
Dude, if anyone can tell me he's not, just don't even bother. That's
a
good dude.
Someone said Aquatic was having a meltdown over when we were talking about Marv beating Webb.
I was having a hard time not laughing at Aquatic in here. He's claiming if Marv wouldn't hurt his foot, he'd be in second overall right now. I want someone to cheer me on in life as much as Aquatic cheers on Marv.
Ooh,
dude.
Kevin Kruger, hit me up in the DMs. Hey, anyway, all right. Jason Anderson here. How do you not put this guy in first? We just went back-to-back wins. He got a fourth and a second before that. He's got the best average start of 4.24. He started third in the last 3 races and hadn't gotten worse than fourth. Like, I don't know. All the stats are telling me the only thing that I want to put Tomac at first is literally just for, like, the coolness factor, the story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree with all that, but El Hombre ain't having it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have
Tomac
to win right now.
flowing right now.
It is flowing.
You're fried mile high.
Yeah.
Everything is pointing. I mean, people are getting tattoos, Team Fried on their knees these days. The guy is going to be in my top spot no matter what. I don't even care where he qualifies.
Clint Matthews says, Anderson bump, Tomac 7th, scared. I don't know.
I don't know about scared, but I'm picking Anderson to win. I mean, we got stats for days.
I know,
everything's
it's going to be hard.
He's the hottest rider out there right now.
I just hope it's a battle, dude. Just a freaking battle. Okay. Justin Barsha, the man who sits third in points that has just been the silent assassin all year long.
Dude, last 5 finishes, 5-6, 5-5-2. Has a 3-point lead over Mookie for third overall, like we said.
And like I said, him and Mookie, they want that third place. There's big money on the line.
That's what I'm saying. Tomac's run away, but there's still a lot going on.
Yeah, so look for those two to get into it.
His average start on the West is 3 spots worse than the East, though. 4.83 compared to 7.81.
But he made that big turnaround, so you can't let that scare you too much.
Once he threw the handguards on, things have been good. Last week was the first time he started outside the top 5 in the last 5 standard rounds.
Okay.
Has gotten the whole shot in 2 of the last 4 standard rounds. Has led laps in 4 rounds this season, but we're all on the East Coast. But his top 5 finish totals on the season. First, he hasn't won. Second, he's taken 1 time. Third, 4 times. He hasn't taken 4th, and he's taken 5th 5 times.
So basically, he's a 3rd or 5th place guy.
I'm saying put him 3rd to 5th.
That's what I'm saying. And don't put Mookie in 3rd because he has not gotten 3rd yet.
No.
Okay. No. Hasn't finished worse than 6th since round 4. Mm-hmm. So if you don't put Barsha in your top 5,
he's out of the top guys. He's the one getting picked the least.
I know.
So if you want to make up points, this is your guy.
It's between him and Mookie.
Yep, and he's only questioning if he's qualifying outside top 10. Other than that, he's pretty solid for 5th, 3rd, 4th, somewhere in there.
Okay. Malcolm Stewart. Oh, I skipped over Marv. We'll get to him. No, I didn't. Where's Malcolm at?
He's down there. Last 5 overall finishes, 4-5, 9, 4-8. So kind of all over the place. I've been hearing him keep saying that he wants to win. So it's not like he's letting up.
Well, Salt Lake, the last 2, what was it? 2 years ago was his first podium?
Yeah, in Salt Lake. I remember just his smile up on that podium,
yes,
dude.
Yes, sir.
He was just like enjoying, taking in the moment.
Kept
it was
saying,
awesome.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. He started in 6th place in the last 3 rounds. Also took 3rd in the heats in all those rounds. So he's kind of on a pattern right now. Only worry if he's qualifying worse than 8th. That means he might have something going on or not vibe with track. But he's finished in 4th 4 times and 5th 5 times this season. So
I know.
What is out of 15 rounds? Him and Barsha have taken 5th 10 out of the 15 rounds.
I used my 5th place guy this week.
Yeah, stick with him or Barsha there unless, he's qualifying really good. His average finish by coast east was 5.63, west 4.57, so 1 spot better. Still hasn't finished in 3rd, like you pointed out earlier, and hasn't had back-to-back top 5 since round 7 and 8.
That's kind of the weird thing there.
It's weird.
That's why okay. Chase Sexton. This guy, does he get another win before the season is over?
I would almost say he has a better chance of winning than Tomac.
You think so?
I think so. I mean,
he's
taken second in 2 out of the last 3 rounds.
He's had a lot of crashes on these dry pack tracks.
What was the stat?
Dry pack track. Did I say that right?
He's led laps in 6 different rounds and only won 1 of those.
He's led like 76 laps or something, and he's only won once.
So I think, though, I mean, that can't keep going
2-3, 2-4 his last 4 finishes.
It's got to smooth out eventually. And if you're leading that many laps, you're going to win with his speed.
Like, he's barely finished over 2 spots away from where he's qualified in the last 5 races. I'm just saying, if Sexton finishes as like top of the box, maybe throw him up there.
I had him picked to win last week. And
put him on your podium.
But I'm not. He's more risky than Anderson. But I think he has a better chance to win than Tomac this round, just because Tomac's cruising it in.
Okay. What do you do with Cooper Webb? Starling said it could be.
Sad, dude.
It's either he's going to rebound. See, I had Coop in 4th initially, but then I took him out of there, just because Starling brought up a good point. He's either going to rebound hard, or he might just have another weirdo race.
I don't want to say anything bad about it. I'm a big Cooper dude too. That's why I'm leaning on some type of injury is going on.
Think so?
I mean, his last 5. I mean, he's had hard crashes, dude. Let's not forget.
Track gremlins. Is that who's getting Sexton?
Maybe. He is gangster, like you said earlier.
He is.
His last 5 overall finishes: 6-4, 6, 5, 20. Last 5 standard round starts: 1-4, 14, 8, and 5. It's kind of all over the place. Got his 3rd whole shot of the season last round though. Only led 4 laps before they were getting by him, which was not usually what he does. I mean, he can hold someone back with the best of them.
Yeah, and then he faded. He went from 1st to 7th.
It seemed like once they got by him, kind of the floodgate deal happened.
His average finish has been about the same, like right around 6 on East and West.
But look at the starts.
What's that?
He's starting 4 spots better on the East. So on the West, he's starting at 8.14. East, he's starting 3.95. But he has the exact same average finish.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a 5th to 6th guy if you want to go off averages, in my opinion. 4th, maybe at best.
Okay.
If you're talking fantasy. If you want to go with your heart, I'm not going to stop you. I might even do it. I don't know.
What do you get? I don't know. Look at his qualifying. If he's way back there in qualifying, I'm not going to put him up for. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Webb.
He's only started worse than 5th in 2 of the last 7 rounds, so he gets a good start.
Okay.
Did you cover Marv?
No. Where's Aquatic at? He's probably dying right now.
Dude. He's got to get back to work.
Aquatic is upset.
He's holding his lunch long for this, dude.
He's taking that tardy point. All right. Wildcard Webb. All right, Marv. Look at this guy. Last 5 finishes.
Marv broke his spirit, Aquatic says about Cooper.
Oh, okay. Last 5 overall finishes. 10th was Atlanta, where he went down in the first lap, but after that, he had won and got 2 other thirds. I don't know how you don't put this guy 4th or better.
I agree. He's taken 3rd in the last 3 out of the last 5 rounds. Come on.
He's only been off the box 1 time in the last 5 races. Mm-hmm. He's finished 1 spot away from where he's qualified in the last 3 standard rounds.
Yep.
He's only 6 points behind Malcolm and 9 back of Barsha for 3rd. Bro.
Those dudes are motivated.
I know.
They want to battle.
Yeah, it's a good paycheck.
They're not cruising.
He got 3rd in Denver in 2019. He's only started worse than 5th once in the last 6 rounds, so starts. And that 10th is from Atlanta, and they only count it after the first lap.
Mm-hmm. And that's when he went down, when he was up in the front.
He was up in the top 5 there, around there. So his starts have been money. And he's qualified as bad as 8th and still got on the podium. So don't be too stressed out. If you're solid on Marv, don't let his qualifying scare you too much.
Dude, I think Grizz has a good point here. He's saying
what?
Webb is going to see this chat and show, and he's going to purposely take 8th. Why? Just because he knows everyone's picking him for the wild card, he's going to do it in 8th to not get anyone any points.
And make everyone really, oh my gosh.
Do not send that man any hate. Any rider any hate.
How does Marv hold on a bike with those arms? Mapping, you get an ignition that just gives you the power.
It's because
efficiently.
When my dad told me when I was little, some people got show off muscles. People got work muscles.
It's like dad strength and gym strength.
That man's skinny, but you cannot tell me he ain't strong. That's his body type.
Okay. Well, let's get to wildcard watch here. And the wildcard was kind of tough.
Wildcard, Justin Brayton, move on.
Pretty much.
It looks like it's going to be a Brayton type deal.
Well, okay, it's either going to be Brayton or you're either going to have one of the top guys have fall back, fall over.
Take a risk on a top dude, or I think the highest, most likely dude is Brayton. I mean, just digging it up real quick. Last 5 overall finishes, 10, 7, 6, 5, 16. Has finished within 2 spots where he's qualified in the last 3 rounds. Had a 22nd place start last round. That's why he didn't have a great race. For whatever reason, number 10 has taken 10th more than he's taken 10th more than any position this season 3 times. But don't forget, this is what kind of got me. He finished in 7th in every main in round 13 in St. Louis and started in 7th in 2 of those and 6th in the 3rd. And he started in 7th place in 2 of the last 3 standard rounds. So he is starting around 7th. You can bet on that. And if he's around there, I don't see him fading back, really.
Okay.
So I'm saying Brayton is probably the most likely of picks. You got Hartranft too.
Yeah, so
close.
He's had an 8th. That was his season's best. I'm just saying, so before that, though, his last 4 races, so he was 11th last week, he was 9th, he had the 8th and the 10th. It's just something needs to happen to the guys up in front of him for him to move up there. Someone has to crash, have a really bad start, maybe go down in the first
Freezy's out this week.
It's true.
Chisholm and Oldenburg are back.
Yeah.
But I think he's still going to stay ahead of them.
I agree. I just feel like he's like a 9th and 8th, 9th, 10th. I'm just saying I don't know if he's going to beat Brayton straight up. And like I said, it would just have to be a top guy having a problem.
Or he just rips
has a breakout
good start.
Yeah,
and gets a new career best. I mean, he's only been 1 spot off.
So there you guys go. I mean, for your wild card, you can either take a risk with the top rider or you pick Brayton. Because like I said, there's those top 6, and then there's that gap. And then you get to Brayton, Hartranft, and maybe an A-Mart who has a breakout ride.
He's been getting career best.
He has, but
round after round.
7th that's hard to come by here. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. What do you think? Do you have Brayton right now?
I have Brayton right now, but I think it would be cool if Martin or Hartranft could get up there too. So
okay.
They're qualifying good. Who knows? I might take that.
Taylor says Mookie for the wild card. Please explain.
I mean, he's been around
Upset. 5th. It's going to be somebody. I don't know. False Christian says JG. Eli wild card. I hope not.
I don't think he'll do that again.
I hope not. All right. Well, that being said, remember the link to the Discord if you guys want to see all the stats, all the bench racing. What about Bogle? Brad says. Look,
Bogle has taken 22nd and 21st.
I mean,
the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, he's been having these weirdo races.
Before that, he did take 10th and 8th. I mean, he's taken 8th twice this season.
I'm not saying it's 10, out of his reach, but if you're just 12. Going by consistency,
it's risky.
He's a risky pick.
Yeah. But we all know he's got speed and can get a start whenever he wants.
I'll take my chances on a top guy having a weirdo race than Bogle just showing up and getting 7th.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he can't do it, but these guys I think have better chance.
Okay. Remember, the link to the Discord is in the description of this video. And I don't know if Rachel selected all the winners yet, but we are doing 20 tickets to give away for Salt Lake Supercross.
I think it's a wrap on that.
Is it a wrap?
I think it's a wrap.
Okay, she's usually pretty on top of that.
Somebody did say they're coming to Salt Lake, bringing us a thing of Colorado dirt. Want to know if you'll taste it.
Someone
I can't remember
that?
who commented it.
If you find me in the pits, well, the race is already come and gone.
Doesn't matter.
You got to taste the dirt to know who's going to win. I'm not going to taste dirt of a race that already happened. I'll make you a deal. If I get 3 picks or more correct this weekend, I'll taste your Denver dirt. Okay?
That's a good deal. I like
that. 3 picks or more correct, I'll taste your Denver dirt, I guess.
What are those picks? You guys should lock them in.
You want to lock? I'll lock them in right now.
All right, let's do it.
Here we go. Here's my picks. Hold on. I got to edit these. I'm editing my picks right now. Okay. Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, Chase Sexton, Marvin Musquin, Justin Barcia, Justin Brayton for the wild card.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm going Jason Anderson first. First.
I like your pick more, but my heart, like our
we're not playing for much anymore. We're not playing for much. Our scores are bad. I don't know where Marvin is, dude. Do we lose?
No, he's
there
in
he is.
there.
Marvin, I think, going second. That's odes to you, Aquatic. We can party hard if he gets there. Sexton, I think, third. These guys are just driven right now.
Are you putting Webb in there?
I'm putting Stewart fourth, wherever he may be. Maybe he's in the bathroom.
He's around. He's
Stewart fourth.
Maybe he's in the bathroom.
And then I'm going Barsha fifth. And I'm going Brayton wild card right now, too. We'll see after qualifying. Anderson, Marv, Sexton, Stewart, Barsha. No Eli.
Well, you forgot Sexton. You were confusing me.
My
Eli
bad.
in your top
no
5.
Eli just because he's too unpredictable, and I put him in there. He could mess up 2 picks. You know what I mean? Because if I don't get him right, he's going to mess up another spot as well.
Okay.
So I'm going full fantasy strategy. It ain't personal. I'm trying to nail one of these.
Okay.
And if I put him in there and have him wrong, it's going to screw up 2 spots.
Let's see. JG's got Tomac, Anderson, Muscan, Sexton, Barsha. Dang. Okay. Pretty close to mine.
I know it's his home race. He's going to get a championship, too. He don't care about the top 5 right now.
Oh.
He didn't care about it last week. That told me a lot last week, honestly. I'm just saying.
Well,
You lock down the championship, win in Salt Lake to put a stamp on it. You ain't even need to do it right here.
oh, okay. Aquata better pick Marfa first. Don't do yourself dirty, brother. All right. Well, that being said, remember, we do this because we love it, and we have incredible sponsors that make this possible, that do the weekly prizes and the grand prizes. So be sure to go to the fantasy website, check out all the sponsors that sponsor this, and just to show you, let's talk about what is up for grabs. What do we have for weekly prizes this week? We've got first place, a Shoei VFX Evo helmet. Second place, a pair of Fastway Air EXT motorcycle foot pegs. We got Bridgestone Battlecross tires, FXR Clutch Pro combo. So FXR is the gear that Justin Starling is wearing. They've been killing it too with all their gradients and
it stands out.
FXR to me is like you always know when a dude's wearing FXR, and that's what you want. Rhino Power Prize Pack Essentials. So cool pack from those guys. Sixth place Scotia Power Up. You get a portable jump starter and boom bottle. And then Scott Prospect Goggle and Tear-Offs. I'm just rocking Prospects this weekend. Fox V1 Helmet for 8th. Fly Racing Stay Fly Casual Package. 3 shirts, a hoodie, and a hat. And then 10th place, a Cherry's $150 spending spree. And, of course, we've got 90 Rocky Mountain ATVMC gift cards.
Huge. And then, of course, the grand prizes are heating
We're
up.
getting close.
Heating up. I mean,
What do we have,
a
tie for second and third right now?
It's like 20, 30 points for the top 10 or so. I mean, the top 100, the top 1,000, I would say anyone in the top 5,000 to maybe even 7,000, 8,000, you still have a chance to win this prize. Because you got 2 rounds getting dropped. Don't forget, if you've been playing all season, you will drop your lowest score after this round. So if your score doesn't look right, double check that. See
after
if you
this weekend.
Yep, you'll drop your lowest. If you started late, you won't drop a round.
So what you're saying is Bravis with 880 should not feel safe at all.
He's probably going to drop a lot of points.
Yeah, and second and third are tied at 867. Bianca and
I mean, there's
Sites,
a lot of
331.
wives up there, dude. A lot of wives up there.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, don't give up. I'm sure none of those people high up like that are going to, but it's going to get shaken up these last few weeks. We're going to drop around. We got double points next week. So top prizes this season. 2022 KTM 450 SXF race prepped. Second place, KTM 250 SX. Third place, Dunlop MX33 tires for a year. Fourth, $3,000 RMATVMC spending spree. Fifth, Alpine Stars gear and casual spending spree. Sixth, Motion Pro Tools prize pack. Seventh place, Fly Racing gear package. Eighth place, Stay6 Stability Cycle and accessories. Ninth place, Milestone video game, Supercross 5 video game, TV and console. And 10th place, Oakley $1,000 spending spree. So prizes are getting huge.
I'm over here just drooling at these race bikes, the 250 and the 450.
Dude, once we get them built up and set outside here, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You got like moths to the flame, dude. You got to run out there, get employees to quit staring at them, and get back to work.
Sitting on it. Ajax wants me to bleach my hair. For what?
Frost the
Sexton
tips, bro?
Sexton had his chance. Sexton had his chance.
Dude,
all
just
right.
bleach it like full black.
Bleach it black.
Or dye it black.
Thank you.
Just go full black, dude, like Ben Stiller or something. You're looking good.
All right. Well, look, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in live today. Again, big shout out to Justin Starling. Hope you guys are cheering him on this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And, link to the Discord in the description. Make sure to join that. Submit your memes. We'll do one more meme contest. We'll do it starting Monday, next Monday, or this Monday after the race, and we'll do it through Salt Lake, and then when we do our season recap show, we'll pick a winner. So we'll do one more meme contest. We got a Joey Savacci signed jersey that we can give out.
The guy who won the McElrath one sent it in to us today or yesterday on the Instagram. So that was actually a sick jersey.
Yeah, and we got a Savacci one that we can do. So
I like that one.
Remember, get your memes in. You submit those on the Discord.
Hey, 745 Moto, your 36,000th place. You're still in the running for a weekly prize.
Yeah. I like you were going to tell him like he's still in the running for grand. You're like, you're still in the running for a weekly prize.
That's the best part about fantasy. We're all still in the running for a weekly.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in live today. We had an absolute blast. Enjoy the early race. Racing starts at 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time.
Yep.
Qualifying is before I'll even be out of bed. It starts at 7 o'clock.
West Coasters, get your picks in early in case you send it too hard Friday. You want to have those picks in so you don't get stuck with a rollover, especially on that wild card.
All right. Well, that being said, hey, thank you, everyone. We had a blast. We'll see you on Monday.